John Piet grew up in Marshall, Virginia, where he was surrounded by all different kinds of music. Wanting to become a musician at an early age, he went on to fulfill that dream and became a singer, songwriter, and a producer. This is his story. So how did you first get interested in music?
Growing up in my house, my mom sang all the time. And then when the Beatles came on TV and the Rolling Stones, I really got interested in rock and roll.
So they were like your musical influences when you were growing up?
Yeah, that was the first things I heard. Then I got into Jimi Hendrix and the Cream, which are guitar-oriented bands. That really got me going.
So after seeing them, what did that make you want to do?
Made me want to play. So we worked around. I had some friends back. We were in 5th, 6th grade, and we started a little band called the Raiders.
And what did you do in that band?
I played drums. I started out playing drums. And eventually I went to bass guitar later, and then eventually I found guitar, and I've been playing guitar for 40-something years.
And you taught yourself how to play all those instruments,
Play by ear.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Like, what did you guys do in that band?
I would play like at school, carnivals, parties.
So then, a little while after that, you made the band August.
Right, I got a little older, and we were out of high school. I had several different bands along the way, and then when I was out of high school, I met with some friends, and we started a band that ended up being called August, and that's when I really started pushing writing originals, and I took us in the studio, and we did a 45 record. One side I had my song On My Mind on it.
And was that the first song you ever wrote?
Yep, and it recorded in 1978.
What was that song about?
It was about teenage love in high school.
Was it hard for you to write songs, or did it just kind of...
No, it was new. I was learning, and it wasn't until I really got better years later I realized how hard it can be. But you just got to know when to write it down and when not to push.
How did your music evolve as you got older?
Well, after we did the 45 record, it received a lot of airplay locally. I decided I really wanted to do originals, and so I left the other band and started a new August. So I took my friends in the studio, and we recorded the LP in the summer of 1978, which came out being called August, featuring John Piet and friends, and that featured 10 originals of mine. And at the time I was writing. So right now I've got over 200 songs, original songs in my catalog. And so the LP came out, and I put together a touring version that went out and supported the record in the late 70s.
So what did you do with that band?
Well, that went on as far as sometimes you have to make changes. Made a few changes, then I brought in the band. August was got the biggest fame in the 80s, and now we did more recording, and we were playing bigger venues from 20,000 people, playing 12 years straight, almost every night.
Like, what places did you go to?
We toured throughout the Mid-Atlantic, and I actually went out in the Midwest, but outdoors venues, concerts, nightclubs, and beach clubs. So we had a lot of good times in the 12 years.
Who did you open up for?
We opened up for Frank Marino, Mahogany Russ, Johnny Van Zant, Night Ranger, is the name of a few.
What is your favorite song that you have written?
Oh my goodness. Well, In the Middle of the Night was a big hit for us in the 80s. That's one of my favorite. Love Machine was right along with that. Out in the Middle of the Night is probably one of my better songs from that era. I got new songs right now, like My Mistake, which is Through These Eyes, which I really like, and the newer stuff.
Does that mean a lot to you with that song?
Yes, they did. Doing real well.
Okay, so what happened after 12 years of touring?
Well, I needed a much break. I kept doing a lot of writing and putting together different little recording bands, but I did a lot of producing, engineering studios. Ended up owning an international studio called Rugby Road, where I produced a lot of records around the world, and I worked a lot of shows for some of the big promoters. Kept myself in the business, and kept writing songs and to get us where we're almost at today.
So how is producing different from actually playing on stage?
Oh, well, you work with other people, you hear their ideas, and you help them figure out how to get to the end of where it's going to be a hit song for them. So I like using my imagination to help people realize their dreams. But playing live though is unbelievable. It's just, you see people singing along with just your songs that you wrote, and especially when you're 3,000 miles from home and you got people that know you and know your songs, and it's a great feeling.
So when did you form this new August?
Well, during that break, people still call me all the time, tell me I should do some of my songs. It sounds like my songs are on the radio, and publishing let other stars. I turned down some big names like Foreigner, wanted to record some of my songs. I didn't understand what publishing is, so part of the deal was let's get the publishing going, which is where you present your songs, let bigger names record them, hopefully. And then I decided to do a new CD, an August CD, of my new originals, so we've been working on that, both of those for the last 3 years.
So are there any members of the old August that are in the new August now?
Yes, I have a couple. Jerry Bozick, that was the drummer in the original late 70s tour. Scott O'Brien, who was a guitar player with me out throughout the 80s. Then I brought some new people. Steve Mendak is an excellent bass player. And I used different singers from Rob Foster to Jeff Bowers for publishing them for the August stuff.
So how is writing music now different from writing music back then?
Oh, just so much experience and so many things I've experienced that helps you be able to write stuff, and just understanding the music business and producing all the different types of music. Just basically just experience. Makes it a lot more fun and easy. And surround yourself with good musicians. It's taking us a while to get all the right combination, and then we're pretty much on the right combination right now.
Does it feel good having some original guys behind you?
Yeah, it feels good because we get to the point where it's got the feeling like we had when we were in the heyday, and it's there. The magic's still there.
And you're recording some of your old songs too, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. We're going back through the catalog, and we've had a lot of songs that we did live on tour that we never recorded, so we're recording a bunch of them now. And even though they're older to us, they're still new to a lot of people that haven't heard them, never heard them on CD, so all that will be coming out.
And where are you doing all this recording?
I own a new studio called Dream Tracks Studio in Warrenton, and it's a 24-track studio, and I used to work out of New York, and this is it's the same quality as in the big cities.
Is there anything else you want to say about August?
I just have to stay tuned. We're going to do some live shows in 2014, and 1 or 2 more CDs coming out, maybe more, and things are looking fun.
Well, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Hannah.
Pleasure.
Pleasure.